Another stimulus check of up to $1,200 may grab the headlines, but a new economic stimulus package, whether based on the Senate's HEALS Act or the House's HEROES Act, could give the American public much more than a one-time check. The HEALS Act, sponsored by Republicans, wants to offer extended enhanced unemployment assistance, but at a much lower rate than they were offering before. Republicans also want to dedicate $100 billion as an incentive to get schools to reopen so that parents can get back to work as soon as possible. With White House and Congressional negotiators ending the week finding little common ground on the next stimulus bill, a variety of proposals are on the table that could, or could not, significantly help you pay rent, buy food, find or keep a job and make it through the ongoing pandemic recession. Here are a few proposals that are on the table as your political leaders haggle over the details. A one-time payment is again on the table. This is designed to convince Americans to spend money to stimulate the economy. The amount received should be near or close to the $1,200 payment that was offered with the CARES Act, but if Republicans have their way, it could be less. The ironic aspect of the political leaders who are deciding how much money to send to everyday working Americans is that most of these political leaders aren't everyday working Americans themselves. The average member of Congress earns at least $174,000 per year, and they're receiving their pay whether or not Congress actually gets anything done. This is hardly fair to the millions of Americans who've lost their livelihoods in the pandemic. A good thing about the payments the government sends out is that the payment is not taxable and you can use it however you want to pay for food, housing, clothing and so on. The idea is that spending the checks will help the economy recover faster. We believe that the payment will be $1,200, because this was passed in the CARES Act and is offered in both the HEALS Act and the HEROES Act. The only difference between political parties lies in the details. Another variable on the table is to offer more unemployment assistance for Americans who are out of work. An added federal supplement to the lowly state unemployment payments made a huge difference in the first part of the pandemic. This time, however, Republicans do not want to be as generous as the CARES Act, which gave $600 to every unemployed American who qualified. Instead, the amount will be lower this time around. The funds under the CARES Act expired on Saturday, so Congress is under the gun to get things done before the pain goes too deep. The only issue is that many Republicans think it makes no sense to pay people more money to stay out of work than to incentive them to get back on the job. We have learned what we knew at the time, Senator Chuck Grassley said Monday, that when you pay people more not to work than they would get working, what do you expect? People will not work. And what this country needs is more workers. Democrats support an extension at the current $600 rate and balk at the Senate proposal, which would extend benefits based on 70% to 75% of lost wages, starting at $200 a week and over time increasing to $500 a week, with state assistance. With no agreement on a larger second package close and benefits expiring, the two sides may decide on a short-term extension of the benefits while they hammer out the details of the bill. Congress is also debating a payroll protection program to incentivize businesses to keep employees working. This is designed to help you keep your job. Overall, PPP hasn't preserved many paychecks, wrote Joshua Gottbaum, a guest scholar of economic studies at the Brookings Institution. A careful study found that PPP-eligible small businesses laid people off just as quickly as other businesses, he said. The big challenge this time around is to ensure that the funding goes to businesses that actually need the money. Also, proper incentives must be utilized to ensure that companies that receive the funding don't turn around and lay off employees. Without additional demand for services, businesses will have no incentives to keep employees on the job. Also added to the mix is a tax credit for employee retention. This won't be money put in your pocket, but it will encourage your boss to keep you on the job. Both the HEALS Act and the HEROES Act believe in providing tax credits for employers to incentivize them to keep workers on the job. An excellent topic of discussion is a back-to-work bonus of $450 per week to encourage people to pass up unemployment and go back to work. This is being pushed by Senator Rob Portman, a Republican out of Ohio. Unfortunately, Portman's idea is not yet part of the package, but could be added at a later date. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, please visit littlebluepiggy.com to serve your financial literacy needs for the entire family. Until next time, good evening and happy investing.